If there was one physical problem that I really wanted to change about myself, it had nothing to do with my looks. Like, yeah, sure, I was walking around in a C shape for most of my life, not walking up straight like a capital I letter. But what bothered me even more was the fact that I couldn't focus. Even if I really tried to pay attention to the outside world, even if I tried to actually put in the effort to listen to the people around me, like in school, in my house, for example, with my family, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Like, no disrespect to them, but I just couldn't force myself to do it. Well, in school it was obvious because I just wasn't fulfilled in there, and still I'm not, but at least now I try to stay at least a little bit mindful from most of the time. And with my family, I have a better relationship with them right now. So, yeah, it is way easier to pay attention to them. But back then, oh boy, it was a whole another story. Even if I had the best of relationships with both of them, even if school was completely authentically aligned to my goals and to my purpose in life, even if it was something that I wanted to master and go into high school for because I actually was motivated for it, because it would bring me fulfillment in the long term, then yeah, I would still not be able to focus in it because that's just how bad, not my attention span, but my focus in general was. I couldn't glue myself to any kind of activity that just wasn't interesting enough. And with my family also, I'm betting that even if I had the best of relationships with them, I just wouldn't be able to log in on them and actually pay attention to their problems and give them feedback. That's how shitty my attention span was at 14 years old. And I desperately wanted to improve this. I finally want to get rid of all of the negative bad habits that have been plaguing my attention and that have been lowering my attention span ever since I was a little kid. I wanted to get this over with. I wanted to grow fucking stronger. And that's what I was going to do. And so, in summer of 2023, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life, and I went back to self improvement. I finally put my tail beneath my feet, and I said to myself, okay, I need you self improvement gurus. What do you have for me this time? And so I went there looking for advice on how to improve my mental health, and in the end, I got three very important good habits that you should start doing right now, even today, and you will see great profits and you will see great amounts of progress when it comes to focus and when it comes to mindfulness and when it comes to deleting negative thoughts from your head completely in general. You will be free of them and your focus will be literally like a sticker. You will be able to put it anywhere and make it last for minutes, for hours, depending on, of course, how important the task is. But you understand. You will be able to become a literal machine. And so, what were these three healthy habits? Well, there were meditation, gratitude, and adventuring. And oh boy, did I immediately fall in love with all three of these the second I heard them. Not because, of course, they were my saving grace that was gonna save me from my shitty existence, but also because I just actually want to have something to do in my daily routine. All I was doing, the one thing that was keeping me busy for most of the time was social media, watching YouTube, spending my time on garbage that wasn't benefiting me in the long term. But now I actually had something very important to do. And so, from time to time, I started to went on these long walks into nature, which really helps, by the way. And when you just get on top of a tree and you just look into the distance and you see like 5 kilometers ahead of yourself, of course you won't pick up your phone and start scrolling on it. Of course you're gonna enjoy the beautiful nature right in front of you, and you will realize all the small details in life that you will start to slowly but surely notice in every realm possible, like in your family, in the work that you do. It sounds very symbolic, but that's the benefit that adventuring gives you, and that's the benefit that I saw from it, and it does really work. But we'll get deeper into this in another video. The second good habit that I started to do was meditation. And this one was authentically appealing to me because I remember that when I was like 7 years old and when my grandma was still alive. I went I once went out on a walk with her and we had this long ass talk about meditation and what it actually is, like opening your third eye, and we talked about all these different types of meditation. And when we actually came back home, I sat on my trampoline and I did the pose and I even started doing the and all of those different sounds. And yeah, I was just a little kid who was trying to make it seem like I was meditating, when in reality I had no idea how to actually do it. But it was way easier than I thought it would be. You wouldn't have to do any of the hum. All you needed to do was just completely relax, close off all of your senses, and focus on only one thing only. It can be like the humming sound, it can be your touch, for example, so you can be touching the ground and you can be focusing on that. You can do breath work, so you can focus on your breath, which is the most common form of meditation and the one that I do it. You can focus on your inner thoughts to completely analyze them in the meantime that you spend meditating. You can meditate on the birds outside. You can stay mindful about their beautiful songs. And yeah, this really helps with your focus and just with your attention span in general, because over time you need to scale this. And like with any other skill, you'll get better at it. And so will your attention span. And then, of course, we have gratitude journaling. And this one has to be my most favorite of them all. Immediately when I heard about this, I instantly became completely addicted to it. And I started doing it non-stop. I didn't view it as a task. I view it as something that I can do in my free time. Like the thought of actually being grateful and showing happiness for something that makes my life easier or harder just felt so empowering. And it was something that I never realized until that point. And I had been alive for 16 and almost a half years by that point, and never have I heard about it. Yeah, sure. During Christmas and other of these events, we would say stuff like, "We are grateful for our health. We are grateful for this dinner our that our Lord has brought upon us." But I never really looked that deep into it until that point. And so from that point onwards, I started implementing those three powerful habits as completely mandatory subjects. And how did I do it? Well, I didn't view them as tasks. I didn't view them as obligations. I didn't view them as something mandatory. Instead, I view them as passions, as something that I enjoy doing and that I will continue to do for the rest of my life. Because I asked myself, how can I basically achieve peak mindfulness? How can I deserve? Keep in mind, I put stress on deserve. How can I deserve to have no negative thoughts in my head? How can I deserve to become more mindful and to actually get good thoughts into my head in the long term? Well, it is as long as I continue to do all of these good habits in the long term, every single day, and not just in like a specific time, because many people just view it as a task, as something mandatory that they need to do every single day. But when you think about it, meditation is all about just focusing on one thing only. And being grateful is basically taking every single loss as a win. So when you think about it, you can apply all of this theory into everything in real life. Whenever something doesn't play out for you, yeah, sure, in the first couple of minutes, you'll be mad because of the bad grade. You will be mad because she rejected you. You will be mad because that new thumbnail that you put on your channel hadn't worked, but in the end, you should be grateful for it because it actually benefits you in the long term. You don't realize it now, but at least now you know which one of the 1 million paths that don't lead you to success takes you, and you're finally closer, if not even right next to that one correct path that will make you succeed. Isn't that such a wonderful and liberating feeling? And when you forgive yourself for being angry, and when you become grateful for the loss that has now empowered you and given you its new life changing energy, then, bro, you're like an unstoppable machine. Like, on God, I'm actually serious. And so I started doing this every single time. And not just for the things that make my life worse, but for the things that make my life easier also. Every single time when my dad rides me in his car to school, I'm grateful for it. Every time that he puts on another song, I'm so fucking grateful that I can listen to it just in comfort, because many people of my generation and of the past generations also didn't get this opportunity. And yet I'm here, being born into a, I wouldn't say wealthy family. We are a middle class family, but still, we are pretty well off. And yeah, I'm so grateful for it every single day, because you never know when God can take it away from you. But when He does, oh boy, I'm gonna be so grateful for it, because it will be a new chapter in my book of success. If you know, you know. Then meditation. I took the concept of meditation and being focused on your work to everything, on recording these videos, on editing them, on being online in online communities, in being uh, in the reading, for example, in being outside and adventuring. In fact, about staying mindful, about being grateful in general. I started to implement them as much as possible into my daily routine. And yeah, sure, it was less effective because like actual real meditation is closing off all of your senses. And yeah, when you're, for example, working on something, you're combining like four senses at once. You're combining your eyes, your touch, your your brain, because you need to think about the activity that you're doing. Yeah, sure, it is less effective, but it still works. It still brings you some results, even though they may be like 3 times smaller, but they are still there, and they will accumulate very, very fast. So that's something that you should keep back at the back of your mind. And as the last good habit, we have adventuring. And adventuring in and itself doesn't mean just adventuring into nature. It also means adventuring, like exploring new concepts, new ideas, new people, new events, everything. Just being present in the outside world, actually being interested in things that are outside of your comfort zone, trying new things, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's what you should start doing. And let me tell you, after a whole year of doing this every single day and implementing these good habits to my daily routine, not as tasks, but something that I actually enjoy doing because I have an old soul and it just naturally is appealing to me. I have, bro, the results that I've been feeling. I'm just constantly mindful, like 60% of the time. And I literally walk around with a smile on my face. That's how powerful this shit is. That's how powerful you can get this through the confidence that you get, through the infinite focus that you have, through the unending positive energy that you get from gratitude journaling. It's just completely insane. So, yeah, if you want a clear path towards having positive thoughts in your head for the rest of your life, in the long term, by actually working on them, and yeah, sure, the real way is making progress and stuff like that, but if you want to purely focus on being fulfilled and being focused on the work, then I suggest that you should start doing these 3 good habits that we talked about in this video and try to implement them as something enjoyable that you actually enjoy doing every single day. Okay? That's the way on how you can achieve positive habits in your positive thoughts in your head for the rest of your life by working on them for the long term. If you want to join a community where we discuss our mental health and full of like-minded men who share the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes, the same goals as you, who are becoming the best version of themselves every single day to surpass you in the race of men, but at the same time, they will be like your true, blood-bonded brothers with whom you can talk about any kind of subject and they will not make fun of you as long as it is something appropriate and as long as you don't be a dumbass. Then you can join our Discord clan in the description. I know that if you're watching videos like these and willing to take action, that you have way more potential than you think you have. So please, harness it and join us on the path towards greatness. I know that you'll find your place in there, so stop being held back by your surroundings. But besides that, You can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. If you want to learn about healthy mindsets that will guarantee success in the short term and in the long term by absolutely mending the fuck out of your mental health and bring you into higher stages of consciousness through actually giving you the right path that will bring you out of any shitty life test that life throws at you, then I highly suggest that you should go check out Timeless Reader's Mindset. It is truly something life changing, and it will go up in value as time goes onwards. So please grab the special discount that I have waiting for you right now, because you will be a fool to miss it right now. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you